Welcome back to UnKind TV, everybody. It's me, Martha, and tonight I will be discussing The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 10, Episode 13, There's No Place Like Rome. I will be watching the episode from my bed, and I will be pausing and commenting as I see fit. I must address some of the things that I have skipped over. As you know, I haven't covered most of this season, but I did see the Brandi Glanville big reveal. You know, the one where she was mic'd, but it was just a spur of the moment decision to tell the whole group the truth about Denise. Look, I think it happened. I think they hooked up. Brandi Glanville is the Danielle Staub. Brandi Glanville is the Danielle Staub of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She's too crazy to be a full-time cast member, but Bravo trots her out and uses her crazy whenever the ratings are a little bit low. So let's say the cast railroaded the big star off the show, things are a bit dull, people realize that this cast wasn't quite able to carry a season. Let's bring Brandi out with some real salacious allegations and turn everybody against the victim du jour, Denise Richards. I think it was staged, but like Danielle, I don't think Brandi is always lying. I think some version of what she says is true. The truth is somewhere in the middle. I don't think she's completely fabricating that she had an encounter with Denise. I think that she's manipulating the way that it happened to paint herself as some kind of victim, as a martyr. They tricked me into cheating, blah, blah, blah. Nobody tricked you into anything. You two hooked up and that's the end of it. And you shouldn't have spilled it on national television, but you did. And Denise is caught. The way the ladies behave is so gross, beyond gross. I'm just going to put it out there. I can't stand the majority of the cast. I really cannot. After what they did to Lisa Vanderpump last year, and it's not that, oh, I love Lisa so much. No, I just think what they did was so ugly. There's times when you could tell this is scripted, it's nonsense, it's reality TV. Okay, they have to hook us. And then there's real pain and real grief. And there's bullying. And I never got over what they did. That was ugly. Too ugly for my taste. But I've tuned in because I very much like Garcelle and Sutton. They're wonderful. But Kyle, this Erika Jayne person who thinks that she's Madonna in her own world. Nobody knows who she is outside of Housewives fans. Nobody. It's astounding to me how on the show they all seem to treat her like she's an artist. No, she's not. I mean, delusional. Dorit with the ever-changing accents and PK. And then there's, that famous singer, he wrote Jack and Diane. His daughter's on the show. She's pregnant. She might have mentioned that once or twice. She's very boring. She really, really, really doesn't like Denise. That chick can't stand her either. But let's dive in. Was that a Brandi and Denise joke? Oops. Now it is about half an hour after this dinner where Denise has had the bomb dropped on her. The ladies are pretending that they're extremely upset. This was awful. This was terrible. This was so bad. Dorit and Garcelle are consoling Denise. Garcelle is much more sincere than Dorit. Shocker. Dorit can barely conceal her cat that ate the canary grin. She's pretending she feels so bad, but the whole time she's... My favorite part of this aftermath has to be the way Denise tells Garcelle and Dorit, "This is slander." Maybe, more like, this is Housewives. Sorry. Now it is the next morning and Sutton is delivering gifts. I love this woman so much. She bought rain boots for all the ladies. She's delivering the boots to Kyle. And Kyle is still feigning that she's emotionally hungover from the whole experience. Sutton doesn't really want to get into it. She's more concerned with just giving her present and moving along. Very Southern of her. And Kyle leans against the wall all dramatically. She's like, Brandi Glanville is going to talk. She's going to talk. Just spare me. And Sutton just responds to this. She's like, well, I'm going to go keep being Santa. So I think she even says, I'm going to continue my delivery. Go, get out of here. Get away from vile Kyle. Run. Can I just say, I really wish I could be Sutton's best friend. Sutton is fun. Another moment of high drama here is when Lisa decides to call Denise to set up a meeting. She calls. You hear Denise pick up, and it's like, I was dying. Denise? Lisa? They have to talk. So Rinna goes to talk to Denise, and Denise feels, couldn't you give me a heads up? I have to say, I really feel bad for Denise. Denise looks like she's been ridden hard and put away wet. Seriously, too much tequila, too much stress. And I don't mean that in any kind of offensive way. I just mean she looks exhausted. She looks really emotionally battered. I don't care for that husband one bit. I'm sure he's a big part of that, but I can see why she's disappointed in her friend. She feels like, you let me travel all this way knowing this was about to come out, knowing I was going to get ambushed. How can you trust Lisa Rinna? Have you watched the show, Denise? There is no trusting Rinna. Rinna's defense, again, I was laughing. I actually don't feel responsible because it was Teddy's information. Oh, that's the protocol. Okay, got it. I'm not responsible because it wasn't my information. She was there when it was said. She was there at the same time that Mellencamp's daughter heard it. So what? How is it her information? I'm not responsible. I'm sure that's how she feels about her daughter's eating disorder as well. Denise is categorically denying all of this, but she slips. She had said that she had not been in contact with Brandi in the days leading up to Kyle's party. And now she's telling Rinna that indeed she had spoken to Brandi. First she says that, no, we barely know each other. No, that she flew up for a podcast and that was that. And then she says, but she did fill me in on all the things going on with the ladies and bad things being said. And Rinna says, so wait a minute, you did talk to her. I'm cringing because I know Denise is trying to cover something up. And she keeps moving on and saying that she realizes that John Mellencamp's child is very upset over the things that Brandi said, Denise said. And you can see that she's doing anything she can to get away from the Brandi subject. She says she does not have an open marriage and she has not cheated on her husband. She looks so guilty. She really looks so guilty. Like I said, I think it did happen. I think that Denise did not count on this being revealed on national television. And I can't say that I fault her for trying to sweep it under the rug, but it's not going to work. Not with this group, not with this show, not with these producers. They knew exactly what they were doing when they brought Brandi Glanville, conjured her up from hell to destroy your life. Dorit and Kyle have their sit down and hash out their disagreement. I think Dorit is really overreacting. She says, Kyle, you cut me off and make it seem like what I was going to say was the opposite of what I was going to say. I really don't think Kyle intended to make Dorit look bad. I think Kyle saw in the moment that Denise was really the one under fire and Dorit was being protective of the Mellencamp kid, and Kyle just wanted to put the attention back on Denise because Denise is the one getting this massive sucker punch, and Dorit is more concerned with the pregnant lady. I can see why Kyle, I don't like Kyle, but I think Kyle just blurted something out. And she apologizes to Dorit. She says she didn't mean to make her look bad, but she does say that it made her upset that Dorit wouldn't answer her messages or her calls. And Dorit is like, well, when I'm upset, Kyle, I'm the kind of person who doesn't want to talk to you. You upset me. I don't like people who do that. I find that the silent treatment is a little bit emotionally abusive. I think you can say, I'm very hurt and I don't want to talk to you right now. Please give me some space, and that's enough. But when you just disappear and you let the other person feel sick to their stomach, it's kind of mean. I'm not saying if you're upset with someone that you have to engage right away because, of course, we get upset, we get hurt, we need to take the time to process. So just say that. I don't know why Dorit couldn't say, Kyle, you've hurt me. Please leave me alone for the night. The conversation turns to Denise and Brandi and whether they did it. Did they do it? Did they not do it? Dorit asks Kyle if she thinks this is true. And Kyle says, well, one thing about Brandi Glanville, she doesn't make things up. And she goes on and on about she was in a lawsuit with her and she couldn't say a single time that she had lied about something. She said she could be an asshole, but she's not a liar. I take issue with that because While I think there's a spectrum of lying, at the end of the day, a lie is a lie. Whether it's a complete fabrication or someone being deliberately misleading by exaggerating or framing things to make themselves look better, it doesn't mean that the event didn't happen. I'm not saying Brandi's the kind of liar where it's proven that she's just completely made things up. Everything she says is whole cloth. But she has been caught twisting and manipulating, much like Danielle. Danielle says things that often have a basis in truth, but she presents it in a light where she's the hero. Brandi is the hero. She's the victim. I was tricked into this. I didn't know we were going to be in the bed together. I would never be the person who's the other woman. I would never do that. But I don't think Denise is some mastermind who is playing 3D chess looking to trick Brandi into a one-night stand. Come on. And Kyle knows that. But because right now it's working for Kyle, she's on Team Brandi. She was not on Team Brandi when Brandi was throwing out accusations about Mauricio cheating. Was that true, Kyle? I remember that. Garcelle goes to Denise's room and convinces her to come join the ladies for the wine tasting because Denise really doesn't seem like she wants to go. She says this is a lot. She's shaken up. And Garcelle says, hey, when I was going through my divorce and I was in the tabloids, I went to Denise for help. And Denise helped me out a lot. If she can handle Charlie Sheen, she can handle this. And it's true. The amount of stuff Denise had to put up with in the press when she was getting divorced from Charlie Sheen was nothing compared with this. And I'm glad Garcelle reminds her of that. The ladies are taking Ferraris out, and I want one. I have to tell you, I've been really wanting, I don't know why, a Mustang. I know I don't seem like the type of person who would drive a Mustang, but I've been wanting one. I have to say, though, that Ferrari is pretty sexy. I love a good car. What do you think? Ferrari, Mustang. Ferrari, Mustang. I think I'm going to have to go with the pony. Yet again, I want to be Sutton's best friend so badly. She takes Dorit and Kyle on a private shopping at Dolce & Gabbana. She told Mr. Dolce she would be in Rome, and he said, well, come on in. It's pretty amazing. I could do without the tiara photo shoot, though. Okay, yeah. The crown. The crown is heavy, darlings. As far as I am concerned, that crown will always belong to LVP. And if it's not LVP, it is Sutton, because she has the most tiaras. The other ladies are now at a wine tasting, and I have to say, I love that Denise, no matter what, anytime, anywhere, she perpetually looks like she just came back from the beach. She is a perennial Malibu Barbie. The wine keeps coming, and I don't know if it's only me, but when I watch things like this, I can smell the wine breath. The more they're getting, the more like, it's almost like, there's a John Waters movie called Polyester where they had odorama. Like the movie had a scratch and sniff card with it, and they would blink the number on the screen with you, and you could smell the car spending odor. And I swear, I can smell the perfume and I can smell the wine breath. Denise has all these allergies and she can't eat a lot of the food that's being served, which I can relate to because I don't know what happened to me, but I hit 27 and I don't eat anymore. And Erica's talking about how she loves garlic, but her husband, Tom, can't tolerate garlic. And she says, people think I'm a diva. Tom Girardi is the real diva. And she says that he's a pouter. She meant pouter, as in he pouts. I thought she meant powder as in baby powder. I was like, what? It took me a minute before Lisa Rinna said that she'd love to see Tom pout, because I was like, what? Tom's a powder. Does she mean Tom Johnson & Johnson? Tom doesn't like garlic powder. Oh, pouter. I'm an idiot. Denise starts talking about how her father was the kind of man who was never angry. And it took so much to get him mad so that by the time you saw him angry, you were, whoa. And Garcelle says that Denise is like that, and they all got an initiation last night. Garcelle thinks it's remarkable that Denise is able to go through a drama like she did last night and then sit and break bread and drink wine with the same group the next day. And Denise says that in her family, people deal with things and then move on, but it seems like this group is full of ladies that just want to surround themselves in chaos. Well, yes, Denise, that's why they're all on a show called The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and it's been around a long time, and there's no show without chaos. These are the moments when I kind of want to smack Denise because I'm like, Denise, there is no show without drama. I wish it weren't so formulaic. I wish we weren't watching every year. They pick a new villain. They pick a new, it's like, let's all gang up on this one. Let's all gang up on that one. Now this one's the queen and this one is going to get, everybody's going to dump on her and we're going to reveal all her secrets. It's always the same thing. But one major component, we love to see their lifestyles. We love to see the fun. We love to see the travel. I could use more of that. We like to see the fights and we like to take sides. You don't join a show like this, Denise, and expect, I mean, I guess last season, maybe she did get the impression that she could remain kind of the outsider because she was always like, what's going on? I have no idea who they're talking about. Boy, did that change quickly. Denise comes right out and says that she knows Erika has a problem with Aaron. I don't like the editing here because the editing makes it look like Denise made a really shady face at Erika, and I don't think she did. They show her picking up her glass of wine like she said something about, you have a problem with Aaron, and you can tell, though, that was a weird cut. I think she was being sincere and trying to clear the air. Erika says, look, it's not good when the husbands get involved. It adds another layer of complication. Men communicate very differently than women do, which I think is all wise. Denise apologizes on Aaron's behalf and says she doesn't think he meant to make anyone uncomfortable. It's very awkward because Aaron is a controlling nut job, and it's very sad to see Denise try to cover for him. I don't know if she knows that that's how he is. I don't know if she's in denial about it or if she just doesn't want to see that. I think we've all seen that there is something seriously wrong with him, and I think it is always inappropriate when the husbands get involved. I didn't like it when Ken Todd would do it. I don't like it when PK does it. I don't like it when Aaron does it. Never ends well. Erika says something very important, though, when they're ending this conversation. She says, I do not judge you based on what Aaron does. My interactions with you are not shaded by Aaron. And I think that is so important. I really do. I love that Erika said that. And I'm not the biggest Erika fan, but I'm glad that she made a point of saying a woman is not defined by her husband. Garcelle goes, I have a confession to make. And they'll, what? I am so tipsy. And then Erika says she is too. So I'm glad my ability to smell the wine breath was accurate. Now they're getting ready for dinner and Dorit is making me physically ill. I can't. I am so channeling 90s. How about this? Versace, Versace, Versace. I am just, look at how beautiful I am. I couldn't be any more conceited with my fake accent. I am so 90s. What is so 90s? So stupid. I think the other ladies look great. Erika Jayne shows up. Unbeknownst to Dorit, they have a similar wig on. And everyone says that Erika looks like Marilyn Monroe. I think she looks more like Jane Mansfield. You be the judge. They're getting very impatient waiting for Dorit. And then we cut back to Dorit, who's still admiring herself. And the producer's letting her know everyone's waiting. And she's, everyone? Mm-hmm. Everyone. Yes. Everyone. Yes. Everyone? Mm-hmm. Shit. And then when she makes her entrance, I think it's Sutton who says, somebody says it better be worth it that she's holding them all up. And then when she shows up, I think Sutton says, I don't know if it was worth it. No, it was not. I don't think she looks that great. I think Dorit is beautiful. I also think Dorit is an asshole. Now everyone is at dinner and Sutton is talking about how she's worried about her weight and she says, I could skip a meal. And the ladies say, why? What? No. And she says, my clothes are too tight. Who likes that? I mean, she's just so relatable to me. I know it's ridiculous because she's extremely wealthy and she does private shopping at Dolce & Gabbana and all of that. When they do this flashback to her meltdown in the fitting room, who has been guilty of that? Not just in my teenage years. I do not like trying things on in the store. I just don't. It's something about the lighting in the rooms too. They always make you feel so awful. I remember being maybe 15 and trying on a dress. And when I took my clothes off and saw myself in the full-length mirror with the horrible fluorescent lights, I thought, how do I have cellulite? I'm only 15, Mom. I was so upset. And to this day, I don't like it. I understand, Sutton. I understand. I loved it. I don't know why they always cut these things. Why do we have to flash back? That was the best part. I don't need to see these women joking about who should wear the tiara. Let's see Sutton flipping out and scaring Mario. I think Kyle says that he came to them and he's like, I was scared of a Sutton. Rinna mentions how her mother would never buy anything without her husband's approval and how she found that odd. I have known a lot of women like that. I'm not one of them. But she's asked, what does Lois think of your underwear/naked dancing on Instagram? And she says that she posts a lot of things because she knows Lois is watching. And Garcelle says exactly what we're all thinking. Well, I shouldn't say what we're all thinking. Certainly what I have been thinking, that it's wonderful that Lisa's so comfortable in her body. It's wonderful that she feels so free. But doing it in her underwear when she has a daughter with body image issues, not cool. I know nobody wants to say it, but yeah, what is Lisa thinking or not thinking? If your child is insecure and has all these problems and anxiety and an eating disorder, a crippling one, why are you constantly exposing yourself on Instagram and showing what a perfect, fit, tiny little body you have? Rinna cares more about attention and her narcissism than she does about her daughter, hence why her daughters both have problems. I don't think it all comes from Harry Hamlin. Oh, and I just have to say, I normally don't care about the ordering. I'm not interested in what these women are eating. It did irk me, though, that the Jack and Diane heiress felt the need to copy someone else's vegetarian order. That's fine. Just say, I'll have what she's having. She has to say, because I'm pregnant. Erika shares that she and Denise were able to clear the air about Aaron. And that's not good enough for Mellencamp Jr. She has to go in her talking head about how Aaron definitely came with the intention of upsetting all the women. See, the way Erika responded was the appropriate response. Thank you for your apology on his behalf, but his behavior has nothing to do with you. Two separate things. Thank you. Let's move on. But Miss Accountability, who's pregnant, do you remember that? She's pregnant? That's not good enough. It's still, let's keep hammering Denise. You know what occurred to me? They kind of look alike. Baby Mellencamp and Denise. Except Denise is the prettier version. I wonder if there's anything there. Probably not. Okay, here we go. Kyle, me. I was having so much anxiety last night about all of this. And Denise says that she's not nervous, but that she feels very unwelcomed by the group. She says, how could I not when I'm the one being put in the hot seat? True. Sutton says that they need to be honest about what was discussed privately after the dinner last night. And she's alluding to the fact that she had already heard this rumor 2 years prior from a friend of hers. And Rinna jumps down her throat. She's like, did you tell Denise that? Did you tell Denise? And she's like, yes, I did. And Denise says, yeah, and I had a good laugh about it. I love Sutton. Sutton's like, yes, I did because I'm a lady. Now Mellencamp Jr. has to start saying, I don't know Brandi well. And Denise says, I don't either. But I also don't know you that well, Denise. Denise again is going through her history with Brandi, that they met through a mutual branding agent who connected them last season, that she did Brandi's podcast after Brandi asked her for about a month. And then she starts repeating now that she has had a conversation with Brandi prior to Kyle's party in which Brandi said a lot of bad stuff about the group. And Miss Accountability Coach is like, so which is it? Which is it? Which is it? You said that you didn't talk to Brandi, and now you're saying that you did talk to Brandi. Teddy, you are the last person who should be nitpicking about something like this. If it were a huge lie that Denise got caught in a glaring, major fib, that's one thing. After what Teddy pulled with that loosey, juicy goosey thing, oh, just don't, you raging hypocrite. I don't think Denise was lying when she was asked, you didn't talk to Brandi before Kyle's party? And she's like, no. I think she was caught off guard because she had no idea this was coming and she got hit with a lot. Not only did she get hit with, you said this about me, you said this about Erika, you said this about this one and that one. Oh, and by the way, she said you two had sex. So I do believe maybe in the moment she was like, no. She has now repeated several times that, yes, she did talk to Brandi. Are you not allowed to say, yes, I was caught up in the moment? Denise starts hinting that Brandi told her a lot of bad information about people connected to the ladies, maybe about the ladies. And Erica is like, if you have something bad to say, let's hear it. Let's hear it after what she did to you, honey. And Denise says, no, no. And they keep egging her on, like, say it, say it, say it, say it, say it. And Denise is like, there's a line. I guess I don't like when people play this game. They're like, I know something you don't know. I know something you don't know. I don't know if that's what she's doing. Maybe a little bit, because now she's had time to think. And Garcelle in her talking head has said, she's like, I wish Denise fought back better. I wish she shut them down and said, this is not true. You're crazy. Move on. Denise was so like, oh, deer in the headlights. And now she's coming back with a little bit of deflecting. Well, Brandi has told me horrible things about all of you, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. Not on camera anyway. And then she adds, Brandi has said that she has had sex with every woman that she's encountered, including women in this group. At this table? Yes. I think Denise is being hyperbolic. I have done this myself. For example, if I know someone who has a habit of saying everyone hits on them constantly, oh my God, this guy was after me. Oh my God, this guy, I'll be like, she thinks everybody wants to bang her. It doesn't mean she literally said everyone wants to bang her, but this is characteristic of this person. I think that's what Denise is getting at, that Brandi is someone who makes it seem like everybody and their mother wants to sleep with her or has slept with her. I don't think she's being literal, but I could see Brandi saying stuff like that. And I believe she said it about someone in the group. Maybe Denise is stretching it a little. I think more will be revealed. But the way the women react so strongly, if you're trying to deflect, it's not working. I'm having a very hard time with that. The lady doth protest too much. Rinna is the one who gets really, really mad. Really mad. She's like, I have not heard that. I have not heard that. And you know what? Brandi has not said that she has had sex with me, so don't put that out there. The only time I've seen Rinna get like that is when something is a little bit close to home. Like Margaret would say from New Jersey. Hit a nerve when she flipped out over the Harry Hamlin rumors. Don't put that out there. What do you think? I think it's true. I think Brandi has said that she slept with people from the group. And probably a million other things. Guys, this whole thing is so dumb. And it smacks of homophobia to me. And I really do wish they would let it go. And I have to say my sympathies lie with Denise. I just feel for her because I know there's a lot we're not being told about what's going on behind the scenes. And the other ladies feel like that's not fair. You signed up for a reality show. You have to share everything. But no, maybe you don't have to share every little thing. She looks so visibly distressed constantly. Bravo, bravo, bravo. I don't think she needed this at this time. Maybe at a different point in her life. I don't know what's going on. Maybe she would have laughed this off. Maybe she would have copped to it, but something's wrong. Her husband is scary. I do feel bad. And I don't think it's something that should have been put out there the way that it was. I don't like the way the ladies did that, but they did. What more would you expect from a group that drove a woman grieving her brother's suicide off the show? I mean, if they're willing to do that, why should any of us be surprised that they would do this to Denise and embarrass her? They're not nice people. They really aren't. Except Sutton and Garcelle. They're okay with me. And that's that, guys. So I will be here covering the rest of the season, including the reunions. I will also be covering the Real Housewives of New York going forward. That looks like a lot of fun. I saw their reunion pictures were hilarious. They wore masks to the reunion and Ramona dressed up as Hannibal Lecter. It's going to be something. Stay tuned for that. And I will also be continuing to cover true crime because that's a hobby for me. I enjoy it. Give the video a like, subscribe if you have not. I love you all. Thanks so much for watching. And sound off in the comments. I want to know what you think of all this. See you soon. Bye.